The morning mist hung heavy in the air, whispering tales of the night before as it caressed the fields of an old farm. In the stillness, in a quiet corner of the world where time had its own pace, lived Henry, a man who's seen many seasons, and Buddy, the dog who's been there for them all. As the first rays of sunlight tiptoed through the trees, painting the farmyard in hues of gold, Buddy stirred from his slumber. Stretching, yawning, he ambled toward the kitchen, his tail a metronome keeping time with his hope for a morning treat. "Well, look who's ready before me, huh?" They say old men and old dogs have a lot in common. Both understand silence, both have weathered storms, and both know the value of a quiet morning. Henry got dressed, grabbed his cane, and walked with Buddy following closely behind. He could lean on Buddy for support if he needed it, and Buddy seemed to know this, always ready to lend a paw, both literally and figuratively. Theirs is a bond forged in the fires of shared solitude, a companionship that transcends words. They say old men and old dogs have a lot in common. Both have weathered storms, and both know the value of a quiet morning. As the day stretches before them, filled with the promise of simple pleasures and quiet moments, Henry thinks about how Buddy came into his life. When your ma brought you home, you were this tiny fluff ball. And now look at you, still stealing my slippers every morning. Buddy barked softly, playfully tugging at Henry's slipper. Henry chuckled. Henry at the table, Buddy on the floor beside him. The younger Henry laughed as Buddy, a clumsy puppy, ran after a ball in the yard. Buddy, sitting beside Henry on a rainy day when Henry stared out the window, looking heartbroken. Henry teaching Buddy to shake hands in the yard. Years spun by like a top, each season painting new memories onto the canvas of their friendship. There were walks in the crisp autumn air, games of fetch in the soft summer rain, and cozy evenings spent by the fireplace, watching the snow fall. Through it all, Buddy was more than a pet. He was a confidant, a furry shoulder to lean on, a warm body to share a blanket with on those lonely nights. When Henry lost his family years ago, loneliness became his shadow. It followed him everywhere, a constant reminder of his loss. But Buddy was the light that guided him through the dark. He chased away the blues with a wag of his tail and a wet nose nudge, reminding Henry that he wasn't alone. As the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and red, Henry sat on the porch steps, Buddy at his side. Another day ends, another sunset we share. People say dogs don't talk, but I hear you. Every bark, every look, you're telling me to keep going. Buddy looked up at Henry, as if understanding the weight of his words, the depth of his emotions. In that moment, their eyes met, and it was as if the world around them ceased to exist. All that mattered was the connection between the old man and his dog, a bond that had deepened with each passing year. Henry smiled warmly, reaching up to scratch behind Buddy's ears. A low rumble, a canine symphony of contentment, resonated in Buddy's chest. As the last vestiges of daylight faded away, replaced by the twinkling of stars, Henry stood up, leaning heavily on his cane. It was time to go inside. And so, as another day begins, Henry and Buddy walk together into whatever comes next, proving that sometimes love needs no words, just loyalty. The camera pulled back as they walked toward the open field, the sun shining brighter. Episode 1, The Beginning of Forever. Gentle music played out.